Hi, I'm Michaela and I would like to show you who I really am. This video is going to be about my past, about how I escaped really bad life and how I started to live in the way I always wanted. And I would start with my life if it's okay with you. I have also some pictures that I prepared and I would like to show it to you. I was born in 99. So I'm 24. I'm going to be 25. Oh, this is small me and my mother. She died. She died 8 years ago. I miss her. And this is small me. Oh, Lord. This girl didn't even know what's going to happen and what she's going to survive. I'm proud of this little one. My childhood was, until some age really nice and really happy, but when I was maybe 8, 9, my parents started to drink alcohol and they became really addicted to that. I was blaming them a lot, but now I'm realizing that some people are not that strong as me, and some people, are just don't seeing any different way how to get out from their misery. So they are finding the pleasure in the alcohol. It was really hard, because imagine you are 8 or 10 and your parents are basically from one day to another. They are drinking as crazy and they are starting to be addicted to alcohol. After 1 or 2 years, it was like really hard for me to cope with that because I was also bullied in school. My classmates were laughing at me because I'm wearing glasses, because I'm Asian, because I was a bit chubbier. And obviously, they were also mentioning my parents. My only thought after going home from school, I was always, praying, and I was praying to come home and see my mother, sober. This was everything what I wanted. My father was working too much. He was the only one who was working. My mother was staying at home with me and my brother. So I spent most of the time with her. And I always prayed that I'm going to come home, to my mother, to this one that was, doing always nice hairstyle for me, that was spoiling me, that was dressing me up. Yes. She was always dressing me up, you see? Always something in my hair, always nice skirts. She really liked to make princess for me. But it didn't happen. I came always home and I was always, disappointed that, here we go again, same story again. And I always saw her drunk. My father didn't drink that much because he was working, but always when he had free day, they were drinking together. It became my, new present, and I was living in that, and this was everything that I knew. We didn't have a lot of money because, as I mentioned, my father was the only one working. I didn't even know that we are that poor. I realized that maybe a few years ago when I was, just thinking about my past and I was thinking about everything in general and how much my father sacrificed for us. But it was tough past. And my parents died because of their addiction to alcohol. As I mentioned, my mother died 8 years ago and my father died 5 years ago. So it's some time and they died because of their addiction. I don't want to focus more on my past because it was really hard. You can imagine how hard it was to, just be bullied, to come home and always say this and also to take care of your little brother. It was insane. You know how I survived? And this can be maybe nice tip for you as well. Give me a second. I survived because I had hope. That's why I have also tattoo hope. My life was always about hoping and praying for a better future. I was saying like, okay, Michaela, nothing is perfect now, but maybe your future can be perfect. I was visualizing that once I'm going to be 18 and I'm going to be adult and I'm going to live far, far away from my home country and I'm going to start my life from the beginning. But sometimes your present is really hard and there is no positive at all what you can do at this point. Yes, you can be okay with that, and you can create some bubble, to be resilient, and just leave all negative emotions out of your bubble. But you need to have some vision, and I had this vision. I was too small to understand what my vision is and maybe what steps I needed to take, but I had vision. I want to be 18. I want to leave my home country. I want to go really, really far. And maybe I would like to study because I want to be smarter. I want to be better. And I want to have a good future, not as my parents. And it's hard to say that, but sometimes it's helping. And this helped me to survive. I created my own bubble. I was planning my whole future and how I'm going to be that Michaela, and I was, leaving all negativity outside of my bubble. This really helped me because sometimes this is the only thing we can do. I know that people are not that strong, but if you're facing tough times, you have to try to create your bubble. Your bubble can be different than mine, but try to create your bubble and maybe your dream and your future that you are going to focus on. This is going to help you to survive everything. And this helped me to survive. I'm not sure if it's a healthy approach, but it worked for me. It worked for me. And this was my stand to continue and just to go. As I mentioned, my parents at some point died. Like of course I was crying and I was sad, but I also felt this relief. It's hard to admit. It's hard to admit that, but just imagine your whole life, to take care of them, to clean after them, to help them to go to toilets, to clean their. They became really addicted and they couldn't live normal life. I saw them unhappy. I saw them cruel. I saw them insanely drunk that they did things that no one should, especially to kids. But I don't want to blame them. My mother had me when she was 16. Imagine how kid in 16. I believe she was lost. She didn't have time to find who she wants to be. She got so huge responsibility that she didn't know, how to cope with that. Some people are not that strong and some people don't see, what they could do in their situation. So I don't want to blame her that she started to drink because I think she was just unhappy. When it comes to my father, he left Vietnam because of the war, and I'm always saying it was a mistake that he left. He would have a way better life there, but he left. And maybe I can show you my father. He was an amazing man. He could have a better life, but I hope he is having a good life now. He was working too hard and we still didn't have money. He was working almost every day. He was working in some company making, steel and everything. When it comes to iron, it's really dirty and really hard job. Imagine. He was working hard for all the money that we had, and it wasn't even enough for us in the end of the month. We didn't go to vacation. We were barely surviving. And I just can imagine how he needed to feel. Imagine you are working your ass off to just get some money and you are still not able to provide basic needs to your family. I don't know what I would do in his situation. I'm proud of him. I'm really proud of him. I'm also proud of my mother that she was able to deal with such a big responsibility of having two kids in her 20s. They just lost their hope, and I didn't. That's why I'm here and I'm talking to you. Because my dream of girl that is going to leave her home country at her 18 and it's going to study and it's going to escape and it's going to have a good life, it happened. I moved to Denmark and it was hard to move. My parents died, so I felt like, I'm not leaving them behind, I'm not leaving them at home, and I'm not going to be scared what's going to happen to them. I stopped visiting Slovakia that much, but it wasn't, just because of escaping, but I tried my best to earn money and to, just get life as I promised to myself, but also get life for my brother. I did everything what I could to get good life for me, but also for him. And he's having good life. He's happy. He's having everything what he needs. I miss him every day. I feel a lot of times guilty that I'm that far, but I'm always reminding myself, Michaela, everything is happening for the reason, and maybe one day we're gonna live together and we're gonna be better together. No, but once you are living something that is too negative, you are escaping too much. And as I mentioned, I escaped too far, completely forgot, who I am and what life I had. I was hiding it, you can even imagine. I was hiding who I am. Everyone who asked me about my parents, I was pretending they are still here. I was completely hiding everything I could. I was really ashamed of my parents, of my background, and of family I'm coming from. But last events reminded me something. It reminded me where I'm coming from. It reminded me my past, my present. It reminded me how I should appreciate what I have and what I have built because I don't have bad life at all. This was more than my childhood dream, and I didn't appreciate what I have now. It's crazy. So, current events really reminded me that I can't be ashamed. Like, girl, you have a really powerful story and you can inspire, you can motivate, you can help people to realize that everything bad is happening for the reason and they can still be better and they can have better life if they will stay stronger and if they will in some kind of way visualize their future. I became proud of who I am. I became proud of what I have been through. And I became proud of my parents. I'm not mad at them anymore. I love them. And I hope we're gonna meet one day. This is my dream. So here I am, living my childhood dream. I'm living in Denmark. I'm doing currently my master degree in marketing, branding, and communication. This was my dream before, and I'm living that. To some point I became content creator. I was focusing on fashion. I got a lot of clothes for free. I even earned some money through social media, which is amazing and I didn't even realize that before. I have good life. I have good life. I'm studying. I'm living my dream. I'm having that money and I can spend them. I'm not poor anymore. I'm not rich, but I'm not poor. But I want to be wise about my finances because from my past I know that I need to be careful about my every step and I need to plan wisely. I hope this video made sense and I just want to tell you that don't judge book by its cover. Don't pretend you are someone else. Be yourself, be authentic, be honest because you have always a lot of to offer and a lot of to, you know, teach. So don't be shy of who you are and from what family you are coming. Only stupid people are going to judge you, and I know that now. I'm proud of my story. I'm proud of my background. I'm proud of my parents. Very, very proud, and I'm forgiving. Be good to yourself and to people next to you. You never know how much they are suffering and why they are doing things the way they do. And remember, in every darkness, there is a piece of light. And even though you don't see any, create some as I created. I created my dream and I'm living it right now. So everything is going to be good. And I'm here for you. I'm going to be strong for you. So don't be scared to text me. Don't be scared, to reach out. You can have that life. Just stay strong. Focus on what you want. So enough of being emotional. I'm so happy I'm finally honest to you. See you in the next video.